So yeah, this is a kind of regular thing I do. It's just my purchases and what have you within the like a 6-month period. Quite a short video this, well, shorter than usual. Nobody needs to hear about my personal life, but I'm in the process of moving. I kind of got word in March or April. No, it was a bit later than that. It must have been April that I was due to move, so it's been non-stop stress and obviously not spending money on frivolous things, which, you know, perfume's not frivolous, but it's perhaps not the wisest thing to be invested in right now. So yeah, there are of course some gifted fragrances in here, well, PR fragrances, which I'll of course mention because, you know, it's kind of the law, and I'm not really one of them people who doesn't mention stuff like that. And like I say, gifts wise, there are some gifts from friends. I may well mention that, but that's not really, you know, that's it. I mean, that's all it is. It's just the last 6 months worth of purchases. Yeah, we'll get on. So first up are, I think these are 2 Christmas presents actually. We'll start with Estee Lauder's Youth Dew, and that was from Dr. Claire. Now, Youth Dew, we kind of all know it's a great classic, and I've kind of got into these vintagey, spicy, floral kind of things. Best way to kind of describe Youth Dew, if you don't know it, is it has this kind of Coca-Cola-y kind of touch to it, a little bit of a hint of that, and then it kind of becomes much spicier. It's kind of dark, spicy thing. I think there might well be cardamom in there. It's a little bit like Chanel's Cocoa, although Chanel's Cocoa is much more kind of demure and kind of, you know, posh and refined, whereas Youth Dew has got a little bit more of that very vintage feel about it. The spices sometimes are a little bit dirty in it. It's not, you know, it's not overly dirty or exciting or anything like that. I imagine it used to be, but it is really nice. It's really big. It's probably not one you'd wear in this kind of heat, and it is one I absolutely love. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail with all of these because there's so many, and we pretty much know what Youth Dew is like. It's bloody lovely. So that's Estee Lauder's Youth Dew. Next, as we all know, this is a kind of a favourite of mine, and that's Dior's Gris Dior. And this was a Christmas present from Rose and Jones Lizzie. Oh yes. Now I've loved this one for a while. It's a partial, but you know, it's more than enough for us kind of frag heads and that. And Gris Dior, what do I call it? A kind of breeze, a rose breeze next to a river kind of thing. It's got this kind of grainy patchouli. The rose is obviously very prominent. It's fizzy, it's effervescent, it's got life, and that generally comes from the patchouli. There are other things in this, but I call this like a watery rose patchouli. It's nothing like anything like, well, I think again we all know this one, but it's nothing like Portrait of a Lady or anything. The patchouli serves as a kind of grainy feel there, and it's this kind of whole ozonic thing. And I'm not sure where the wateriness comes from, but the musky rose just has this beautiful on a breeze kind of thing, and the roses are more fresh, a little bit powdery. It's just heaven for kind of any time, really. It's not one that I'd say is a particularly summery or wintry one. It's got this vibe, you can kind of wear it whenever you fancy, really. So that's Gris Dior. So next on the list is a gifted one from Kajal, and that's Kajal Lamar Noir. Now this is a very different one from Kajal, which I really enjoyed. It's definitely for the cooler weather. It's quite a big one. Now it obviously has bits in common with Lamar. It has that kind of pineapple-y opening. It's got the fruitiness in there. I think there's a little touch of rose as well, but it's predominantly it starts off kind of more of a greener, smoky leather. There's a big element of greenness in this, and then the leather, it's almost like there's two leathers. You do the kind of smoother, blacker leather as it moves on and on and on, and the fragrance smooths out a lot. You still get the touches of the fruitiness kind of lingers on in there, but it is like this dark, almost smoky kind of leather with that kind of raw greenness going through it. Now, generally no criticism of Kajal, but this range tends to be a little on the sweeter, fruitier side. So this was a really nice surprise, this one. It won't be for everyone, which again I like more about it. Wasn't the easiest for me when I first wore it, but I'm warming towards this kind of raw leather, kind of greener leather thing. It's quite nice, isn't it? But yeah, it's definitely not for this weather at all. It is for the kind of cooler days and stuff. So yeah, that's a gifter bottle from Kajal, and that's Lamar Noir. So next is another gifted one from Rose and Jones, and it's more modern than the little spaceship one I've got, but it's the one in the B bottle, and it's Insolence EDP from what's it called, Guerlain. That's the one. I do already, like I say, I own the little spaceship version. This one to me smells pretty much the same, you know. I haven't wore them side by side, but you know, I think it would go like that. This didn't actually like the fragrance. I think it's often portrayed as like this powder puff kind of violet kind of Parma violet one, but actually there is the fruits in it do have a little twang. It's like, to me it's like a cranberry. I don't know what's listed, but it's like a cranberry with a little bit of a kind of metallic twang, which does fade as it goes on. Now in the EDT that kind of is more what it's about, but in the EDP it's there, but it goes on and then it becomes your kind of Parma violet powdery one, musky. We all know Insolence is lovely, but it's kind of, you know, it's one of them fragrance people things, isn't it? I like it because it's in the B bottle, and it's the only B bottle I've got really as well. So that was a very nice gift, and that's Guerlain's Insolence, the EDP from Lizzie. So next up is some PR from Aqualis. This is obviously gifted. It's called Triptych, which is one I picked myself. So you know, now this one obviously, as we know, I have quite a diverse taste. You know, from florals to deep rich ouds and stuff. Now this one is predominantly all about the ouds. I'm not an oud expert. There are several ouds in here, and it begins with it's a little bit on the, I hate using this word, funky side. By that I mean it's got a bit of a naughty touch about it. It's not overly over the top, but then the ouds get deeper and richer with some of the resins. There's benzoin in it, which is quite a major part of it. There's a nice bit of sweetness from rose and other florals, and a gorgeous muskiness going through it. All in all, it becomes like this very kind of classy, smooth, elegant one. And the vanilla and the benzoin give it this kind of coziness to it, kind of envelop them ouds and the woods which kind of go through it. It's a smoky element, a kind of more kind of raw, lovely woody element going through it, and it's absolutely gorgeous and pure class. It's nothing like silver oud, but it's down that path of things I'm used to on this kind of thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's Triptych from Aqualis. Next up, I'm going to put the PR together if I can. It's from Thomas to Monaco. I tried a little sample set. There will be eventually a house video for that. It's just not edited together yet. But anyway, I picked raw gold from the ones I tried, which in fairness is probably the more famous one. Now this opens like brandy whiskey kind of booziness. There's Davana, there's woods, It's kind of, oh, it's quite lovely actually. It's got this rich woody booziness, you know, as Davana can kind of give that brandy, fruity kind of feel, with a bit of the greenness in there. And as it develops, it's got these, easiest way of me describing them, which a lot of the Thomas de Monaco ones have, it's a kind of condensed milk woodiness, like it'd be sandalwood or the woods, you know. And they kind of run through quite a few of them. There's a gorgeous muskiness, but as it grows and grows and grows, the saffron becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and it kind of starts off leathery, and then it becomes that kind of plastery one. Again, not criticism, that's what it is. So people liking saffron and that. Then it predominantly becomes a kind of saffrony, woody one, but you still get a little touch of that kind of fruity loveliness. Yeah, it's really nice. Again, I'm keeping this as brief as possible because there's so many of them. But yeah, it's a nice fragrance. My favourite from them. And I know you're supposed to say it's because PR. It's a good collection actually. They're not all same as stuff you get out there. One of the things I did struggle with the house as a whole was a lot of saffron. But sometimes, like in this one, I really do like this fragrance. So yeah, that's Raw Gold from Thomas de Monaco. Next up is birthday time, 2 presents. There are a lot of Chanel's in here, but I'll split them up. Chanel number 22. This is a little gift from Lizzie-Beth, Rose and Jones. Was it for my birthday? I don't know anymore. But we know that fragrance. It's kind of what you describe as, some people describe as the little sister of Chanel number 5. Some people don't see it as fresher or more easier. To me it kind of is. It's just this beautiful, youthful kind of version of it. It's not like the EDT, it's not like Chanel number 5 EDT. It's its own fragrance, but it's got the aldehyde, the lily of the valley, the kind of fresh pop of citrus and that there, the cosy muskiness. It's a similar DNA, but it's not the same, and it's just really kind of fresh and breezy. And you know, it's wearing, I don't know, in the 1920s, you know, your little waistcoat and bowler hat and your flouncy dress, your linen dress and stuff, on the back of a bicycle going through France, and all the beautiful soft flowers and that, and the aldehydes fizzing the air, and well, everything smells clean and innocent and frivolous and fun. And that's how I kind of describe it. So that's Chanel number 22 from Chanel, obviously. Next is from Cartier, and that's Basier Volè, or however you say it. Again, I've spoken about this quite a bit recently. This was a present from Dr. Claire again for my birthday. Damn wind. It's a lily soliflor. It's obviously got lily in it. There's probably other supporting notes, but the basic gist is it smells like beautiful lilies. It's got that kind of raw animalic spice about it. It's got the petaliness, it's got the pepperiness, it's got that kind of whiteness, touch of indoles about it. It's just a magnificently beautiful lily fragrance, and if you love lilies, I think I'd go for this. Obviously the one that came closest to this of me loving was Liss from is it Le Labo? One of them brands. Ridiculously overpriced for no particular reason. But you know, a good lily fragrance is hard to find nowadays, isn't it? But this definitely tickles the spot really for it. If you're a lily lover out there and you love just a pure easygoing lily, I'd recommend giving this one a sniff. So that's Cartier's Basier Volè. Next up is another little pickup from one of my favourites, April Aromatics, kind of you know, natural fragrances and that. I don't actually remember when I got this, but it must fall into this kind of thing. So I've spoken about before, obviously. It's basically what it is apparently Tanya made it from, you know, little leftover accords and things and ingredients, and it's basically lots of petals. I think it's got sweeter notes in it. There's no, like, I don't think there's an official listing of notes. You know, it's quite powdery and stuff. but what it smells most of is rose petals. And Tanya's made some gorgeous, I don't like roses, we know this, I'm really picky with it, but this is all these gorgeous rose petals, and you do get this kind of pinky, purpley, reddy kind of, it is like a rainbow of a fragrance, with little touches of fresh greenness in it, some woodiness in there, like a soft muskiness. It's just really beautiful. It's one of them, like, I don't even think Tanya, kind of the creator thing, thought I'd like it when I tried it, because of the rosiness. It was just really beautiful, and it's really soft and tender, and it's got all again them elements of the rose, you know, a kind of greener sharpiness, but it's mainly the petaliness that I kind of fell in love with it. It's a magnificent fragrance. So that's Scent of Many Colours from April Aromatics. So next is from One Way Bridge. There's always going to be one of them in here, isn't there? And this is Haute Horopito, and I've recently done a little video of this one, so I won't go too much into detail. It's magnificent. It's kind of a bit of a one of them love at first sniffs again. It's predominantly this kind of appley fragrance, an unusual light apple skin with all sorts of things going on in it. There's a little bit of an anisey touch. It's kind of this branny cereal touch to it. It's musky. It's got a little hint of raspberry in it. It's got this very big vintage nod about it. It's just truly beautiful. It's definitely not like anything you've ever smelled before. And it being Elise, there's lots of New Zealand ingredients in it. As someone who's not an apple lover, I find it quite extraordinary and very lovable and likeable. Again, I'm not going to go too much into detail. There is a video. If you click there, not really, I don't know how to do that sort of stuff. But it's a beautiful, amazing one from One Way Bridge again, which, you know, since the last video I've took, has exploded even more. It's become even more well known and out there. If you get the chance, I'd definitely, you know me, I don't push recommending stuff, but I'd definitely recommend giving them a sniff if you can. So that's all Horopito from One Way Bridge. So next is lots of Chanels. I went a bit crazy. Now first up, just because it's a video about this, I've mentioned this in the last one, I bought another little bottle of Chanel No. 5. Again, not the most vintage obviously, but I think it's kind of the late, kind of early 2000s, late, from the late 90s I think it was released when it's that formulation. It's exceptionally good. We all know Chanel No. 5, I'm going to mention it briefly soon again. It's, you know, aldehydes, Lily of the Valley. Oh my god, what's in it? All sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's floral, isn't it? Ylang ylang, things like that. It's floral, it's got a nice sweetness. Like I think I said when I first mentioned it got this fragrance, it's much sweeter than I ever thought it would be. But yeah, it's still got that kind of vintage nod and class and elegance and sophistication. We all know Chanel No. 5, and I've mentioned it before, and it's the second bottle for some apparent reason I bought one last time, didn't I? I bought one another, but you know, it was part of a little 3 set which I'll be mentioning. So yeah, next is Chanel Allure. This was also in the 3 set, and it's the EDT of that. I just love this fragrance. I don't know what was first, the EDP or the EDT, but I do again remember this from back in the day, and obviously I owned Allure Homme, which was much better back in them days than of course it is now. And yeah, Allure is, I don't care what's listed, it's kind of resinous, isn't it? A bit of myrrh and things like that, and there's listed florals and stuff. But what you will ultimately get with it is this kind of basically a peachy, woody, resinous fragrance. There's some citrus and stuff in it. This isn't, I must have been the EDP that I know better. This doesn't have the same syrupiness of that peachiness, but it certainly exists very nicely in it, the peachiness. And it's just kind of, it's very of its day as well. kind of, it's not something that sticks out a lot, it's not something that you've never sniffed before, but it is an exceptionally good fragrance that kind of leans to that early 2000s, late 90s thing with the class, sophistication and elegance. And again, this is, I know it's marketed towards women, ignore that nonsense. If you like a nice peachy, woody, resinous fragrance, Allure the EDT is spot on, so's the EDP for that matter. So that's Chanel Allure, that's the second of the trio of the little lot I got. So yeah, next is the whole reason I bought this little trio of Chanels that I found on eBay, and it's the EDT, Chanel number 5 EDT, sorry. Oh yes, I've been waxing lyrical about this, and if I want something I'm going to get it eventually, aren't I? It is, obviously it's Chanel number 5, so it's got your Lily of the Valley, your aldehydes, your ylang, your sparkly. This one's got a bit more of a sparkly citrus. It's just lighter and fresher. The citrus perhaps stands out a bit more. I even find that, I think this is because it's more so from the original, I find it leans more vintage. The civet is definitely more present and kind of furry in this one, i.e. there's a little bit of a naughty, dirty vintage undertone, which is, it's lovely, but it's just so much fresher and happier and kind of more kind of casual wear. I can imagine being a kind of 1940s, well, not Coco Chanel, because I wouldn't have been a Nazi, but that kind of a woman of that era, was a little bit fun, a little bit cheeky, looking for something to kind of stick out her independence and her freedom that they were starting to get and stuff, and this kind of breezy lifestyle. Instead of riding a bicycle, maybe she's one of them little cars with just a windscreen and the hair blowing back and the scarf blowing back, and a little bit cheeky, maybe she's sticking up the V's as she's going past people on this little farm road and that down France. I don't know where I get these images from, but yeah, Chanel number 5 EDT. It's just magical, isn't it, really? And that's the last of them trios I got, but it's not it for Chanel. So, well, I know this is a bit cheeky, there's one more Chanel after this, but I also bought a full bottle of Masque Milano's Petra. I'd rinsed through my little 10ml of it, and Petra, the reason it's in with these is it kind of has a nod to Coco Mademoiselle. It's a Cecile Zarokian kind of creation, but what she's done with that kind of DNA, deliberate, of course it must be deliberate, is give it a little bit of a kind of more fruity edge, more the dried fruits and stuff kind of stick out more, and it's kind of just fruitier and jollier and more resinous and thicker, and it's got more of a kind of personality about it. But I'm saying all of that, it's toned down, it's not as screechy or as in your face as Coco Mademoiselle. I'm kind of lost in this jungle of a field here. But yeah, it's really, really nice, and it does have that kind of lean towards Coco Mademoiselle. I am waffling because I'm kind of lost and tired. But yeah, that's Masque Milano's Petra, which is again one I've mentioned so many times. Yeah. Next, I already kind of mentioned this in my vintage video. I went through buying them kind of vintage spicy ones, and kind of with a little nod to Used You is Yves Saint Laurent Opium, which I think we all know. It's kind of this spicy resinous one. It's kind of got this Coca-Cola vibe about it, with the ambriness, and I think there's cloves and things like that kind of give it that kind of vintage feel. There's a kind of naughty dirtiness, again more from the spices than anything. This is of course a modern version of it, but still deliciously delectable, dark and kind of naughty, very 80s in its style. And of course the Lily of the Valley is kind of the main note through it, but it's more kind of gently done. It's not a strong soapy Lily of the Valley. It just kind of gives it that, that kind of feel of its era. Lovely fragrance. So that's Opium from Yves Saint Laurent. And finally is another Chanel that I got recently, my most recent buy, and that's Gabrielle. I'm on a Chanel fix, okay? I didn't know much about it. Actually, Gabrielle is really is beautiful. It's not one of them, again, it's just typical Chanel. It's nothing that's going to rock your world. It's quite generic, but it's really nicely done, and it's really quite beautiful. I don't necessarily pick out specific notes, is what I'm going to say. Again, Lily of the Valley is kind of these beautiful florals, but it opens up with just a fruitiness. I think there's blackcurrant, grapefruit, pear. There's this lovely fruitiness about it. It also kind of has a bit of a tropical leaning, I'd say, to some point. The way it then mixes with the florals. Tuberose is obviously a big part of it, and that. There's nothing that makes it not your kind of typical Chanel. I don't know if there's aldehydes in it, but it does have that, well, Lily of the Valley's in it, but it does have that soapy kind of aldehydic kind of meh as you go through it, and then there's a kind of resinous, warm, woody base. It's really, really nice. But again, like I say, it's nothing you've not smelled before. There's nothing wildly unique, it's just very nicely done. It's one of them fruity florals of the type, Chanel style. And that's all it really is, it's lovely. So that's Gabrielle from Chanel. So yeah, that's it, that's the video. I've probably forgotten some of them. I apologise for the wind tonight. Finishing off this video has been right tricky because we've had a heat wave and then storms, and then this wind has never stopped, so... And I needed to get the video out and done and edited, which it may not be, let's face it. But anyway, no one needs to know that. They're just the last 6 months of my incomings, and there's a lot less than there used to be. Certainly a lot less PR, which is a good thing, I always think. And I'm getting more selective. And again, like every year, you probably notice this, I seem to have a house of the year. You know, Kilian, Hamouage, which are houses that are dead now. Chanel's long been dead, so might as well go for that. They haven't started the cashmere and unboxing fun just yet, have they? I'm sure it'll be coming, and then I'll be hating Chanel. But yeah, what about you? What have you bought over the last 6 months? Has your style changed? Have you gone towards particular ones? Alright, the video is what it is, isn't it? Right folks, thanks for watching. Bye.